Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another one of our Core Health Products broadcast. We're so excited today. Another good 30 minutes worth of information that we think is very important for people to hear, to learn how to live more of that alkalizing lifestyle, how to fight or combat those negative effects of the so many of the things that unfortunately we eat this time of year. We eat a lot of, we got Thanksgiving dinner, we got Christmas, we got New Year's, and we always have the Halloween, which I hate more than any of them because it's tradition and everybody just says, well, it's Halloween, so it's okay to eat a bunch of sugar. And sugar, guys, is the worst. It's the most acidic, most devastating nutrient, if you can call it a nutrient, that there is. There's so much data and so much research that shows how much devastation it creates and just how much havoc it wreaks internally in the GI tract, emotionally, mentally, all of those things. So with that being said, my name is Shan Stratton. As owner of Core Health Products, we do a broadcast at least once a week where we bring in experts or people from all around the world on our broadcasts here so that they can share their perspective on the same things that we talk about. So it's my honor to introduce everyone to a good friend of mine, someone that I've known for about 7-8 years now, I think 6-7 years, somewhere in there. And I met Ashley the very first time that I did an event in Las Vegas, and she was at the event, and we just hit it off because at the time she's not only a personal trainer, but she was modeling for some of the nutrition companies and fitness companies and fitness programs. Just an amazing individual, but she believes so many of the things that I and we believe, and we've just become very good friends since then. So as a personal trainer, as a fitness model, and also as a blog writer for Core Health Products, but above and beyond all of that, a very good friend of mine. And I introduced Ashley to everybody here. Ashley, thank you for being on with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Shan. It's always an honor. I brag about your company and the team that we have there, and it really truly is something that people need to know more about, be aware of. As you know, when you met me, I was doing Insanity with Beachbody and P90X and all that stuff, and I was putting so much wear and tear on my body, and I wasn't able to utilize the vitamins that I thought were essential to my body, and I wasn't able to digest things. I didn't have the oxygen flow through my bloodstream, creating separation in the blood cells, all kinds of stuff. So, when you sat me down and took my blood under a microscope and showed me my blood cells, and then I went next door and got sushi, after 15 minutes of taking the Core Health pack, I was amazed at the difference in my blood cells when you showed me again. So I truly believe in that. I believe in whole food nutrition. I believe in alkalinity, the water that, the Congo water and everything that we drink, it's incredible stuff. So, but the digestion and the fats and the sugars and everything, I mean, it is amazing how much that stuff can slow your body down if digestion is not first happening.
Yeah. Well, that's actually the topic of our call, as you know, is exactly that, the 5 warning signs of poor sugar and fat digestion. And a lot of times people don't realize that many of the signs or symptoms of lack of fat digestion is the same with sugar digestion. So, let's address those 5 areas. And again, knowing your background, and you and I've talked so many times, let's go ahead and start off with the very first one. And that, is sometimes people will say, well, I'm a healthy person, but I also have bad breath or bad body odor, more so than usual. And there's a direct correlation there. So take that for just a minute and share what, the topics that you've researched.
People come to me all the time and they want a brand new eating habit, a meal plan, a lifestyle, as I call it. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. They're going from Taco Bell and McDonald's to automatically going to these healthy foods. And most of the thing they don't realize is that all of those toxins they're putting into their body, because this is not full foods, is the fact that your body is trapping the toxins inside, and your body is working overtime to try to digest what you just ingested, when what you just ingested can sit outside for 6 months and not even rot. The toxins that these companies have heavily in the foods that we eat are incredibly bad for the body. They have nowhere to go once they're inside of you, and so your body's doing its best to break it down as fast as it can, and it is taxing. So your bad breath comes from all the bad eating habits, because in order to be healthy outside, you first have to be healthy inside, and that starts with whole foods and utilization. You can't just consume a bunch of stuff and think that, oh, I'm full, my body's gonna utilize every single calorie or macronutrient in this, and I'm gonna be good to go. No, you stink everywhere, everywhere. And it starts at the tongue too, because that's where carbohydrates are ingested. They're absorbed in the tongue, first place to go. So.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, when those carbohydrates are being digested, or fats or whatever else, and they're not, they get stored and compact in areas just like, you know, we've talked for years and years and years about fat digestion. When that fat's not digested, it gets packed in areas around the body. Well, sugars do the same thing, especially in our mouth. When those sugars aren't broken down quick enough, they get stored in areas that cause breath and so on. Now we go down further down the GI tract, and just think about it, guys. Think about having foods, okay? Fatty, unfatty, sugary, not sugar, doesn't matter. But if those foods aren't digested, and then they get packed on the sides in those little folds of the colon, then they become putrefied. Once they putrefy, then they become toxic, and that toxic, putrid smell, odor, it has to go out somewhere. And a lot of times we notice that coming out, that detoxification process, through the pores, through the mouth and breath, and hopefully most of the time through bowel movements and stuff. But that's one of the first signs, as Ashley talked about, is lack of digestion of sugars and fats. In particular, increase that bacterial overgrowth, which causes those bad breath and things like that. So, well, Ashley, let's talk about number 2, which played right along the same theme. Sugars and fats cause such a problem with energy levels. People all the time say, Shan, I think I'm pretty healthy, but man, my energy's just not there. First thing I look at is, are we digesting the fats and sugars, or are we consuming too much of either one of those? Your thoughts on that?
Right. You know, and it really is kind of a catch-22, because sugar turns into fat in the body. So, but it is healthy fats versus bad fats, and you have to pay attention to what you're eating. You know, like I said, and of course these examples always come up. Let's say you go to Carl's Jr. or you go to McDonald's and you get one of those big old hamburgers and French fries and stuff. Those fats from the oils that they use to cook that food is horrific on the body. It kills your insides, and people don't realize that. They go for taste over anything, and sugar, that's the worst. Sugar alcohols, any energy drink that's no calorie but is sugar-free, quote unquote, is filled with sugar alcohol. It's bad for the heart. It creates a lot of plaque buildup. It is terrible for the body. I do my best to try to get my clients to switch over to go for 3 gallons of water a week. You know, if they're like, I drink 1 liter a day, I'm like, get it flushed out of your system, because all the sugars you've been ingesting have been killing your insides, and there's so much flushing to do. Add lemon to your water. Make it alkaline water. Introduce them to things that can help flush the body out. That way, when they start to eat healthier and they start eating healthy fats and healthy sugars like fruits and, you know, carb fiber from vegetables and stuff, they feel good. A lot of people I have worked with have gone straight from a bad diet to a healthy diet, and they go through such a withdrawal in the body because the sugar is like a drug. They are addicted to the stuff, and the body is craving it, so it goes into like convulsions, and you lose energy, and you can't sleep, and you have, there's nothing there for the body to utilize because it's so used to all these chemicals filling it. And sugar is the worst. In my opinion, sugar is the worst on the body. And just like you said, Halloween, fun. I don't like Halloween either. And, you know, and I do have my cheat days, don't get me wrong, but it's not habitual. It is not habitual, and I realize that I function better when I eat clean foods and drink water and green tea, black tea, white tea, kombucha, whatever you want. That is where my body is at its finest. And I can do more. And if I am taking care of myself and showing that to my clients and my family and my friends, then it follows suit. Others want to do the same thing because you see your vitality. And that is so important because all these things play a role in your vitality.
It does. And, you know, the thing that I always go back to, Ashley, you know our company, you know what our principle is about. Nutrient utilization is more important than nutrient consumption.
Exactly.
When we look at the body uses two primary things for energy, fats and sugars.
Yes.
Well, if those sugars and fats that are consumed are not digested, then we cannot have energy. So very easily and simply put, whenever we consume sugars that aren't raw, okay, how often do we eat raw sugar?
Right.
Doesn't happen. How often do we eat raw fat? Doesn't happen. Okay, all of our fat is cooked or processed. All of our sugars are in a processed form. Sugar in itself is almost always processed. So when those come in, the body can't break it down. Therefore, it says, well, I need more energy, so I'm either going to have low energy or I've got to burn more, usually muscle and carbohydrates than I do fat.
Yes,
So
because your muscles are your direct energy source.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, again, I sometimes I feel like a broken record, and I often sit back and think, how can I say it a different way other than if you don't digest all of your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats, you are not going to be in balance. You're just not going to. I don't care how healthy or unhealthy of a diet you eat. If you eat anything cooked and or processed, you are going to have some imbalance. And that's with, whether we're talking bad odor or bad breath or low energy, or the third topic we're going to talk about is if it comes out in skin disorders, whether that be dryness of skin, whether that be outbreaks in the form of acne or acne on the back, or there's so many different ways that undigested sugars or too much sugars manifest in skin disorders. So go ahead and take that for a minute.
Right. That is exactly, and that is the toxins trying to escape the body. And what happens is whether you have oily skin, acne, eczema, any of those things is directly related to your food intake, because you're not getting the vitamins like A, K, and E, for the glow of your skin, the texture of your skin. I have lotions and stuff like that, but I could do natural lotions all day long and eat like crap, and it would still have that same effect: acne, dry skin, oily skin, eczema, whatever it may be, psoriasis. There's all kinds of things that are directly related to let thy food be thy medicine. That is one of my favorite things of all time. And one of the things that's really tough to digest is how people will go out drinking all night long and think that it has empty calories, and it is directly related to dehydration, dry skin, brittle hair, brittle nails, lack of energy, all kinds of stuff. And I've dealt with that. People ask me if I'm making them a meal plan, they ask me, well, can I drink on this? Well, no, because you're trying to get healthy. And now I'm just the tool. I'm here for you to utilize, and you're going to put your money where your mouth is, but your health is priceless. It's like Steve Jobs said, the most expensive bed is a hospital bed. Do you want to end up there, or do you want to spend your money on good, healthy food, whole food nutrition, and be able to get the enzymes? Like, you have created this company based on maximum enzyme delivery system. People are not getting that in their vitamins. And when vitamins are cold pressed and sold in a grocery store, there is no utilization. There's no enzyme. There is no, that's why people smell it after they use the restroom. They go, wow, that stunk. Yeah, because that's where the vitamin went. There is no vitamins in your body. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your money.
Well, two things. I was just going to say you're exactly right on that. When I have somebody come and say, well, Shan, I'm not really losing fat the way that I should, or I'm not dropping body fat. One of the first things I ask them is, do you get dry lips? Do you get dry skin? Do you have brittle nails, but mainly lips and skin? Mm-hmm. And they will say, well, how does that have anything to do with it? Our lips are made up primarily of essential fatty acids, good fats.
Yes, yes.
If that person or any person has dry lips, I know instantly they're either not getting enough fat in their diet, which is very rarely the case, or they're not digesting the fat that's coming in. So almost instantly, when I have someone that's trying to lose weight, I want to increase their fat intake, like you were talking about, from the good fats. I want them to increase avocados. I want them to increase raw nuts. I want them to increase those types of flaxseed and coconut oils and all of those good healthy fats. But most importantly, they have to digest it. So even when we talk about that good fat consumption, like you just did, when we look at the 3 topics we've already talked about, okay, the body odor, the tiredness, the weight loss, when we look at those, even if you were to cut your fat back, but the fat you are still consuming is not digested, you're not going to reach your goals. And that's why, as you know, Ashley, our heart health.
Yes.
Our heart health is probably our #1 consumed product this time of year because of the increased consumption of fats and sugars. So if you're not going to be, adult enough's not the right word, because we all have those cheats. But if you're going to say, well, I'm going to take a little season here, I'm going to cheat this season, it is the holidays, I'm going to eat a little more fat, I'm going to eat a little more sugar or candy or whatever in pies and cakes, you have to get those enzymes, those fat and sugar digestive enzymes on a daily basis. And I know that was a product that you've taken a lot, Ashley, the heart health in itself. And how has that made a difference for you energy wise and skin and everything else, if it has?
It absolutely has. That's not even a question. In fact, the Core Health Pack and the Heart Health are the very first ones that I ever had. And that was when I met you in Las Vegas. And you put me on both of those, and my workouts were better. I felt like I had more oxygen flowing through my body. My food, I didn't feel like my food was just like a lump sitting inside my stomach. I felt like it was passing through, being utilized, and giving me the energy that I needed and the vitality and life that I needed, because I was drained. I was so drained from those workouts, and I am very thankful to God that I learned from you so much about utilization, digestive enzymes, metabolic enzymes, everything. The enzymes are the key to digestion and health and nutrition. They all play a role. And in order to get the best out of your food, out of the food you're consuming, you need every single part of digestion possible without an interference of it being stagnated. And that's what crap foods do. There's no, if you don't have any vitamins in your system, if you don't have any enzymes, it's like it's a trap. It's a prison for food to just sit in your body and rot. It's gross. But I definitely benefited from it. I know firsthand that it is one of the best products that you guys carry, but I cannot pick apart any product because each one plays a role in the body 100%. Well, so I can't pick a favorite, but I definitely love heart health. Yes.
Well, thank you for that. And I'll make something. The 4th topic is, as you know, is weight issues or weight loss.
Yes.
I'm going to make this extremely, extremely simple, and then I'll let you follow up on it, Ashley. But I've started to try and help people understand that weight loss does not have to be difficult. It does not have to be confusing. It does not have to be counting everything. Here is a simple fact to remember. Enzymes regulate metabolism.
Yes.
Let me say it again. Enzymes regulate metabolism. If your enzyme count in your body goes down from eating cooked and processed foods, healthy or unhealthy, guys, if the count of enzymes in your body goes down, metabolism equally goes down. But when we flip that around and start eating more raw foods, because raw foods are full of enzymes, enzyme count starts going up, and equally metabolism goes up. So incorporating, as I said, digestive enzymes, as Ashley was talking about, you increase your enzyme ingestion, whether it be through supplemental form or through ingestion of raw fruits, vegetables, grains, or any other type of raw food. If you will increase your enzyme intake, your metabolism will equally go up, and it's equal to that enzyme intake. So the more enzymes you intake, the more the metabolism goes up. So I don't want to make it too difficult or oversimplify. It's simply that. Increase your enzymes, metabolism goes up. Decrease your enzymes from cooked or processed foods, even if it's healthy food. If the enzyme count goes down because it's cooked, your metabolism is going to go down.
Correct. Yes. You know, and the thing is that what people have to realize is that everything in this is plant-based. Our enzymes are coming from plants. They're not coming from animals and meats and stuff like that. No dairy, no nothing, because nothing in that is alive. Once you cook it, it's dead. You know, people, you'll hear them in a steakhouse, bring it to the plate with a tail on it, or whatever they're saying, you know. This is a good theory that I use for people who are trying to understand this. Okay, alive versus dead food. Look at a bear. A bear goes to a creek and gets a live fish and eats it right then and there. He's not going to go fillet it in his kitchen and then serve it up to his friends.
Yeah.
You know, why does that bear get big? Because his body is utilizing everything in that food that they are eating. You know, unless you're camping and you're throwing out crap for the bear, that if nothing's going to be utilized. The berries that they eat, they're omnivores. You know, animals eat raw foods, and that is why their vitality inside is incredible, because they can utilize it all. So weight loss or weight gain is not an issue because their bodies automatically adjust because the enzymes are there, the metabolism is in balance, and it's a neutral. It's like you said, together. If it's not together, it doesn't work.
Yep. And that goes right along with the old saying of "you are what you eat." But I absolutely disagree. You are not what you eat. You are what you digest. Yes,
exactly. Yes, and I totally understand. And thank God for you, because I learned that after meeting you. I had no clue beforehand.
Well, it just amazes me, just like I'm sure you as well, how many people I come or that we know that says, "Oh, but I eat healthy," but they're overweight. Yeah. They're no energy. They've got skin issues, whatever the case is, but they eat healthy. Well, by America's standards, maybe they do eat healthy, but if they're not digesting it, I always say this with caution, as you know, Ashley, I would rather have someone not eat perfectly healthy by our standards and digest all of it. Yes. I will take that person every time over the person that eats healthy by American standards, but doesn't digest it. So that's why, again, enzymes are mandatory. Digestive health for anything that's cooked or processed. This one takes care of your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats, your vitamins, your minerals. It helps break all those down, as to where the heart health targets a little bit more sugars and fats. That's why this time of year, the heart health, it's a must-have in the household, because
it goes in and burns the fat in the bloodstream. Yep, it goes in and burns the fat in the bloodstream, and the fat has to go, and that's where it starts. It's like you told me when I first started taking heart health. If the fat is not being digested, there is no fat burn. So. Yep. Awesome.
Okay, last one. Let's hit this last one real quick, which is yeast overgrowth. Okay, a lot of times we get people say, "Man, a lot of yeast infections, urinary tract infections." That type of yeast overgrowth is almost always from a deficiency of probiotics, which ultimately stem from undigested sugars and fats that increase the bacterial count. And so, again, the heart health is important for all sugar and fat consumption.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of people who think that, and don't get me wrong, stress causes a lot of these things, but the yeast ingestion or the overgrowth, you get it from so many of the processed foods that we eat nowadays, and they don't realize that food not being digested properly can have a direct reaction to your urinary tract. It's central nervous system related too, because everything's connected to the central nervous system. So it affects every part of your body, and you can get all kinds of inflammation and disease and infections just from eating stuff that's not being digested. Yeah.
Well, so very true. And we're seeing more and more and more research showing how damaging to that GI tract, sugars, especially sugars, are.
If I could say one thing, Shan, one thing that really annoys me is all these people that go get this yogurt like Activia. They believe that the probiotics out of this. And I'm like, that yogurt is dead. There is nothing in that yogurt for you. I know you think it's great, but educate yourself and realize that none of it's terrible. So I try my best to explain this to my clients. And I have to be the example. So that to explain it to them. And then once they catch on, then they'll want to learn more. And then that's when I can implement everything and say, hey, I'm not going to overload. Start with this, start with these 3 things. Research the enzymes, the properties, the probiotics, where they come from and why they won't work in a dairy product for no digestion. It's dead.
Yeah. Well, you're exactly right, Ashley, and you know, we those are 5 main topics that we hear all the time, especially this time of year. So as a closing, I would like to again suggest to everybody that if you and or your kids or family members or clients or customers or whoever, if you are going to allow yourself to increase for whatever reason, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm not judging, but if you are going to increase your intake of food, in particular fats and or sugars, the digestive health and the heart health, especially the heart health, okay, needs to be taken every single meal or snack, okay? If you're gonna have that piece of pie, if you're gonna, whatever it is, make sure you take that heart health with it so the negative effects of those sugars and or fats are at least minimized as much as possible. And that, you know, you can obviously find more information about all these products on our website, corehealthproducts.com. It gives you all the information, all the research, all the data, and we have some amazing blogs on there, many of which are written from none other than our very own Ashley, which she does a great, great job of, and I thank you for those blogs that you've written, Ashley. But final words from you.
I am just very grateful and feel so blessed for Core Health Products and for, you know, what you guys have created and accomplished. You know, I remember talking to you one time, you said the youth are your favorite to work with because that's where it starts. And that is so incredibly important these days, especially these days. I have been taking Core Health Products since 2009, which is when I met you, and I won't ever quit. It is an honor to write blogs. I am ready for the next one. And yeah, I talk about Core Health everywhere I go. I talk about the enzymes and the delivery system and everything that is used to create vitality and life inside of the body. And then that is how I say that's where your health starts, internal. Thank you, Shan. I appreciate everything you guys have done. And I appreciate it. It is an honor to be on your team.
Oh, that makes me feel great, Ashley. We love having you. We've had great respect for all that you have done and all that you will continue to do. You've touched a lot of people, and you know, a lot of people will love this. You know, the broadcast that we did today. And for all of you that tune in, I would suggest again, as you're watching it here, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube, we are moving our platform to the YouTube channel, and on YouTube, our channel is Alkaline Life TV. In fact, let me check that real quick and make sure that is. Liz, if you could chat real quick, put on here the Alkaline Life TV, or is it just Alkaline Life? I can't remember right off, but that page you can get to by, it's Alkaline Life TV. Thank you, Liz. Alkaline Life TV, and it's on our YouTube channel. So just go into YouTube and Google Alkaline Life TV. It'll take you to our channel, and we have all different kinds of broadcasts and videos and webinars, and it allows us to get the reach out there to more people. And while you are there, make sure you subscribe. In fact, as you're watching this video, down in the bottom right, you can see a YouTube icon. You can actually click on that and subscribe as well. So that way, whenever one of these broadcasts go live, you get a notification. We run all kinds of specials and bring in experts, whether it be athletes or doctors or experts like Ashley. So we hope that you follow us. You can also follow us on our webpage, corehealthproducts.com. Subscribe to our weekly newsletters. We've got all kinds of information going out there, guys. But we thank you again for tuning in, being part of sharing this message across the globe about living a more alkalizing lifestyle. And that begins with increasing the breakdown of our foods, because the lack of digestion is one of the most acidic, acid-producing processes that go on within our body ever. So thank you all so much for tuning in, subscribing, and following us and supporting us, what we do. Again, a very big thank you to Ashley for being on with us, and we'll close out from there. Final word, Ashley?
Thank you guys so much, and just remember that what you put into your body needs to totally be digested through and through. It is important. You can eat healthy all day long, but that doesn't mean anything if it's not being digested. Thanks, guys.
Perfectly said, Ashley. Thank you all. Thank you all, Ashley, and for being on, and thank you all for supporting us. On behalf of Core Health Products, Ashley, and all of my family here, we say we look forward to the next broadcast. Y'all have a great night. See you later.